Hello guys, welcome back to the TTB show. My name is Rose Katleo, and today we're doing a review. We're doing a reaction to the game that we previewed last week, a game that was much anticipated, and I see you guys interacted so well in the previous video, and I can see Gustavo's got a big smile. It's his smile is just saying it all. Guys, I told you so. I told you this was gonna happen, and man, congratulations to Mamelodi Sundowns. Gustavo, how are you guys?
Hi, I'm good. I'm happy, Rose. How are you?
No, I can tell you happy. No, I'm doing well. Hey, I'm doing well. Thami, how are you?
Uh, I'm better now. I never watch any game after such a loss. I think it's been a long time. It's been a while since Orlando Pirates suffered such a defeat. But guys, it's part of the game. It's part of football. So yeah, but I'm okay, guys. Hope you guys are okay too.
No, we'll definitely get into it as we go by. And then let's get into it, Gustavo, man. How was your? I don't want you to go technically into the game. How was your overview of the game?
Being in the stadium, man, electrifying. The both fans from both sides. It was nice. I was sitting in the away end. The atmosphere was nice. The atmosphere outside was nice. You go to a place that's outside the stadium, Eastwood. People were happy. People were gelling. It was beautiful, beautiful game. I think everyone left there happy. I think everyone enjoyed the game. Everyone always enjoys the game with goals.
Mm, very, very much true. So I want to get into it. Tammy, what was your take on the game? You were not at the stadium. Gustavo was at the stadium. You watching the game from your TV screen. How was it?
The game, obviously, before we get to the tactics and what went wrong or what went good for Mamelodi Sundowns, rather, it's let's be honest. It's one for me. It's slowly becoming the biggest game in the country. You could tell the atmosphere was something else. I think I saw Mamelodi Sundowns supporters getting to the field by 12 o'clock. The other end, I saw Gustavo posting it. Like the supporters were already there. The Mamelodi Sundowns supporters and then Orlando Pirates supporters came. Everyone wanted the big game, and despite the fact that Orlando Pirates lost his money, I think it was what everybody wanted.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'll give you that. Shout out to the friends that went there on time. That's very, very much important. So let's get into the winning team, which is Mamelodi Sundowns. So Gustavo, what do you think? What tactical approaches helped Sundowns to win 4-1 against Orlando Pirates?
Sundowns approached the game in a completely different way that I thought they were going to approach it. This is not the same Sundowns. It was there to dominate possession. We saw Sundowns going direct. Every ball that they got, they went direct. It was about playing it forward and as quickly as possible. That's the Sundowns that we saw. This is the Sundowns that didn't really want to contest much for the ball or to have the ball much. It was beautiful to see that the coach changed those tactics to say, I'm going to identify Orlando Pirates' weaknesses. Since they're going to play the high line, we're just going to play long balls and we're going to play behind them. And that's rare to see Sundowns doing. Even when we build up, they would try pressing us. We'll build out and get out quickly as possible, and we'll play the ball directly and we play it to the front, whether it's from our right back or from our left backs or from our left center back playing a long ball. That's what I saw tactically from the coach. You saw Arenas running in behind. You saw Abu running in behind. You saw Ribeiro Costa running with the ball. So those were the little tweaks that we didn't expect as fans. We are known to be a positional based team, and for the coach to do that and say, "I'm gonna ditch this. I'm gonna win the game. I'm gonna surprise Orlando Pirates." By deploying those tactics. Also on the press, they were crazy. They were crazy. Peter Shalulile, Ekram Reyners, and Lucas Ribeiro to press in that V shape and to be pressing and to identify the pressing triggers was absolutely beautiful from the team. We got a lot of balls from pressing, but short passes, minimum of 5 passes, and we go forward. We should be there in their final third, and we created the chances. That's what I saw from the coach, Rose.
Hmm. One thing about that game, what I saw was that from the whistle, Mamelodi Sundowns players were switched on. So let's move on to Orlando Pirates. So Tammy, I want to ask you something. The goal by Ugran Kakan in the 30th minute. How crucial? Like, how did it set the tone for the rest of the match? And how important was that for Sundowns?
Rose, I think I did say this in our video. Remember when I said for the first time in 4 seasons, Orlando Pirates is going to play against a team that you do not even know how they're going to approach the game. We played against a coach. I'm gonna say I'll keep saying this again. We are playing against a coach that is here to win. He's going to play ugly. He's going to play beautiful football because he's got quality players. They will get the result. I've never seen Orlando Pirates, so they were nervous. The first 15 minutes was the worst I've seen in an Orlando Pirates team coached by Jose Ribeiro ever. I was not surprised. I know some people are calling it an offside, whether the first defender went, but when I looked at it, it's a goal, and it was a result of a team that was well prepared mentally. So that is Mamelodi Sundowns. I think Orlando Pirates, they only started to play in the second half. For me, the game was over as soon as the first half. It was done. Mentally, we were out. We only started to play in the second half. But let me tell you what went wrong. The pair of Kogi and Sibisi has never worked for Orlando Pirates. We need to be as honest as we can. That pair has never worked. Cardoso got it correct. Cardoso made sure that they press. I think Ghxstavo is talking about, and most people that have been talking about, if you witness the game, that's the V counter press or the V pressing that was done by Sundowns. Probably the best press I've ever seen by forward players in a very long time. It was amazing to see. So, in other words, Sundowns got it correct. Tactically, they were good. They knew that they're going to play against two slow defenders. You pass the ball behind them, it's over for them. We are behind Mamelodi Sundowns. We need to stay that. And I'm saying this. Look at the starting 11. Tell me one player that walks into that Mamelodi Sundowns lineup for other parties. Probably can have an argument about Rele only. I'm being honest. When you look at position per position, they put the right back Mamelodi Sundowns to neutralize the game. They know what pace for pace. What Umorena is something else. And it worked in the first half. They knew that CBC and the coach, they played the same kind of way. Hence, Susan was the difference. And I'm going to point another thing, Rose, before I close. I know people have been saying 1, 2, and 3 and all things negative about Mbat. I'm telling you, he was needed in that game. You needed energy. You need somebody to carry the ball. You needed somebody to defend. Uzamne does not have that. Probably the best pass of the ball in the PSL is Uzamne. But you are playing against Mamelodi Sundowns. You don't. I know that he was injured, but now I think people will start to realize and see why the pair of Umbata and Makaule is well for Orlando Pirates. Orlando Pirates lost the game in the first half. Mamelodi Sundowns was just too good. Yes, I need to commend and applaud Ribeiro for doing exactly what Mamelodi Sundowns was doing in the second half. Remember, he changed the formation and went to a 3 at the back. We were going forward, but it was always going to be risky because it meant we were going to open spaces. It meant there was going to be a lot of 1v1s. It meant our defenders were going to be isolated. Let me also commend who I've been saying this again and again. I wish all Orlando Pirates had the same mentality as Porto. I wish all Orlando Pirates players had the same fighting spirit as Porto. And Marco had a fantastic game. But overall, Mamelodi Sundowns quality, it showed. It was not the fact of Rose or Jose Ribeiro not getting the tactics correct, but it was the fact of saying Mamelodi Sundowns has got better quality than Orlando Pirates.
Better quality than Orlando Pirates. That's something that we've been, and those players are very much experienced more than anything. You can, as a coach, you can be tactical all you want, but if you don't have the right players, it's not gonna work. So individually, those guys, they are very, very good. So let's move on to Ghxstavo. This is probably the most talked about player the whole weekend. I can tell you that, and I can tell you that he's on every front page of every newspaper on anything that you can think of in terms of sports. This is Lucas Ribeiro. This is Costa. A very, very good performance. At the end of the match, he said he loves big matches. For me, he has played big matches before, but he has never played like this. He has never had so much influence in a team, Sundowns, like this. So, two goals. What do you make of the player on the day?
Crazy performance, Rose. This is not a coincidence. I'm wearing my Brazilian t-shirt. But in honor of that performance by Lucas Ribeiro Costa, I decided to wear my Brazilian shirt today and put away my Sundowns shirt. What a performance by the player. I think this is a player, this is nothing new. This is nothing new, but this is a different level that we are seeing from the player. We saw these things last season. It was not talked about. We saw these things last season when he arrived. It was not talked about. For him to be consistent and keep up those performances in Tetu is not a one-season wonder. This is a player that's gunning for player of the season. For him to pull a performance like that in a game of that magnitude, to say, I'm the main man in this team. and I'm gonna play like a main man in this team. You know, showed character. He showed dominance on the ball. Give me the ball. Let me go attack. Even though it didn't get on the ball much, give me the ball. For him to make that run from the not even from the middle of the park, for him to make that run to say, I'm not gonna pass anyone. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna outrun everyone here. Orlem Fukeng tried tripping him. That guy didn't fall. That
He's
guy
very
didn't fall. He
strong.
ran with the ball. Do you know the tactical ability to say I'm gonna do the basics right? Passing the side of the net. That's how he scored both of the goals. He passed the side of the net. You know, you look at the assist that he gave to Tebogo Mokoena. We play a long ball straight to Reyners. Reyners plays it to Ribeiro. He slightly puts it in front of Mokoena. Mokoena with high shots, we get a goal. Lucas Ribeiro is one player that is above men in the PSL. You know, from internationals, every team that's importing players, whether from South America or even in here in Africa, if you're gonna import a players for our league, that's the standard. The standard has been set. The standard is high. It's been set by Lucas Ribeiro as of current. But what a player, what a performance. I think the conversation for a player of the season, I think we can wrap it up now. Just give it to him and we can go relax.
Yeah.
Aye, the
After
league
15
ends in
games,
May, my
the
brother.
player of the
The
season
league
is
ends in
set.
May.
No matter what happens from here on, Ribeiro is the winner at the end of the season. That's Ghxstavo's
Mm-mm.
words, man. But I have to give it to you, man. I think we are so blessed, lucky to have him in our league, because I think besides him being great, it pushes the other players to try and get to his level, you know, man. So for me, I'm gonna say this. Last season, yes, he was very good, but this season, I think he's definitely taken the level high up, and it's good that Sundowns. I know people were worried about Zwane when Zwane was injured. Now they've got Lucas Ribeiro. So I want to ask you, Thami, which areas did you think that Pirates struggled, and how did the challenges contribute to them losing 4-1? This is the highest that Pirates has lost, you know, in a very long
Oh,
time in the league this season.
in as much as I believe levels ahead of many. But when we speak of the play of the season, we still need to go back to the stats and look. We can never ignore that the league ends in May. And I needed to say this because remember, we played 2 cups already. We were still within the CAF Champions League. There's still the Nedbank Cup. And you cannot ride the players such as Abo, for example, Makaula, Auspisi, and the young getting out. But again, Ribeiro is shown that, you know, this is what I was talking about when I was questioning our very own Lord player now went back to his team at Luanda.
You bet.
When I say when you go outside the borders, Rose, you must get quality. You can't be telling me that the player needs 6 months, but you bought him outside. Rather promote a player from a development. Anyways, back to your question. We lost the game in the defense. Usesane, for me, I'm saying this again. I think people need to remember. We tried this pair of CBC and Kogi, never worked. That's why we then went to Kogi and Da, and it worked. And then it was Enda and Sesane, it was brilliant. And then it was then now Sesane and Smisi. So what is the common factor? Sesane. Without Sesane, I call him the new old John Mabizela because of the timing. The timing, you're going to play against Mamelodi Sundowns. You know they've got speed in the Ribeiro, they've got speed in the Champions League. You cannot have Kogi and Smith playing together. That's where we lost it. And in the middle of the park, we've been saying this. There was no way we're going to let Sundowns get our downs as easy like that. We needed such quality. We do not have quality central midfielders. It's a non-fact. I'm not saying I'm blaming Orlando Pirates for not going to the market. I'm saying I'm blaming them for not fighting enough for Jaden Adams. That's the type of quality that we need. And then you look at other positions. It was not an issue of positions, rather. It was an issue of the team not pitching up in the first half of the game. It was an issue of Mamelodi Sundowns just being better than Orlando Pirates. It's just that because at the left back, I think Marco, for me, he had a brilliant game. Marco had a fantastic game.
Yeah.
In the second half, look at the passing accuracy. He was fantastic. Hoto for me is Mr. Consistent. So in other words, what I'm trying to say that it's a game of quality versus quantity. I'm not saying we've got quantity, but we need to agree that Sundowns is way level ahead of many teams, and that was the difference. But the approach, the mentality for me because really, in as much as we could have lost the game, but the way we approached the game in the first 15 minutes, that was not Orlando Pirates. And I'm very afraid. I hope mentally they're going to be able to bounce back. The league is not over yet. It ends in May. There's still the Nedbank Cup. There's still the Champions League. But Sundowns taught us lessons. And that is when now you see whether you have good enough players to finish the season.
That's very much interesting. So, in terms of the Pirates, Thami, I'm just gonna ask you this question.
Yeah.
If you as a coach, with everyone, there's a lot of things that are saying, the league is over, they don't have quality, all those things. If you are the coach of Orlando Pirates, how do you lift these players up? What would you say to them?
You forgot about the game. You need to try and forget as quick as you can. You are Orlando Pirates. You're going to play the Nedbank Cup, because if you keep thinking about Mamelodi Sundowns, you might end up getting out of the Nedbank Cup. You might lose your ground, because Kaizer Chiefs is picking up, other teams are picking up, and people need to remember this is a PSL. Before you know it, we're going to be talking Orlando Pirates fighting for the top 8 if mentally we're not strong. You quickly forget about the game. That's what, now you don't work on the tactics. Yes, you lost it, the mental side. You do not doubt the quality of Ribeiro. You do not doubt the quality of Orlando Pirates. The Mamelodi Sundowns outclassed us. They were better than us. Lessons learned, but we move forward. There's still a Champions League. The draw is going to be made very soon. You just need to work on the mental side of things, and that's where our assistant coach come into play. You work on the players. You talk to them, guys. Let's forget about it as soon as we can.
That's very much good coming from you, Thami. And then Ghxstavo, I want to ask you. Sundowns is on a high. They're up here, and they're like Thami has said, there's CAF coming up, which is one of the competitions that challenge them a lot. How do you keep Sundowns level-headed, not to get too ahead of themselves?
First, I'd like to start here, Rose, on Coach Ribeiro. Credit to Coach Ribeiro for him not to ditch 3 points against Kukune, for him not to rest certain players against Kukune. Credit to them. This was a 3-pointer game. That was a 3-pointer game. Imagine risking 3 points against Kukune and you come to lose to Mamelodi Sundowns. You've already lost 6 points. But credit for him for getting 3 points there, even though he lost here. Credit to the coach. But in terms of Coach Cardoso, these are seasoned internationals. These are players of high mentality. These are players who come from AFCON. Look at Mokwena. Mentally, these players are always prepared. As much as they won against Orlando Pirates, they understand that that game is done. We focus on TS Galaxy. We are playing TS Galaxy tomorrow. That alone should tell you we have moved on. The players themselves have moved on from that moment, from that match against Orlando Pirates. They are focused on the next match. That's how you keep the players going. Let them, after the game, go celebrate in the changing room. But as soon as we leave the stadium, we are focused on the next game. And I think the players are always ahead in that. The players always know that.
Okay, very much interesting, guys. That's about it. And if you were to ask me, Pirates was never in the game to start off with. I think they looked so much nervous from the first whistle. What I want to say to Cardoso, I'm slowly, I'm starting to understand the kind of a coach he is. You can tell that he took every aspect of the game very much serious. The players, the tactics, how they were taking every time when they were going direct. There was a goal for every moment that Sundowns went against the Pirates defense. So,
Rose,
do you want to say something, Thami?
Let me add to that. I once went to watch Mamelodi Sundowns against Cape Town City. I think it was the coach's second game in the PSL. They were working on set pieces during the warm-up. If you analyze and watch the game against Orlando Pirates, Sundowns is going to surprise so many teams. Sundowns was never known for set plays. Sundowns is going to surprise so many teams. He has brought in something, a different dimension. I once said, Mamelodi Sundowns supporters, just like about Ghxstavo, they need to accept Susan and Piano it's a term of the past. Here is a coach who's here to win. Here is a coach who's been given a mandate to bring the PSL is not debated for the Sundowns. You have to win the Betway Premiership. He's here to win and dominate, and he showed that. I just wanted to agree with you. And as soon as other coaches and other teams start to think that Sundowns is going to beat you with any kind of play because of the quality they have. Look at their center back, Suarez. Oh my God! You know what? Exactly.
And one thing, when the coach arrived, for me, I felt like he was grinding results. But I think now he's scoring so many goals. I mean, sometimes are scoring like 3 goals or 4 goals for the past 4 matches. So well done to the technical team. Well done to Mamelodi Sundowns. this was a very good win, and I think it was a lesson not only to Pirates, but a lesson to all the teams in the PSL. And you know what? There's so many things that we could have said, and you can tell with the time the video is getting longer. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. We will see you soon when we do a review or preview of the upcoming PSL games. And yeah, man, thank you so much, gentlemen, for your inputs. It's always valued on this show. It's the TTB show, and we've got a Brazilian on the show. It seems like it. Hey, Ribeiro.
Hey, it's very happy.
But